So if I told you that I spend $80,000 on this plumber casino night and only got 2 plumbers to refer us restoration work, you'd probably say I'm nuts, right? Now, the only way I change your opinion is by telling you that those 2 plumbers brought me $4 million worth of work over the next 4 years. And then you'd say, oh, that's an absolute bargain. So the number one thing that really changed your opinion was this thing called customer lifetime value. And in this case, it's the referrer lifetime value of those plumbers. And in this video today, I want to talk to you on how you can calculate that and use it for your business purposes. Let's dive in. The concept of customer lifetime value basically means how much revenue you're going to get from this specific customer in their lifetime, or in the next 5 years, 10 years, or whatever it might be. And now I know when you're thinking customer, typically in restoration, our customer is the end customer, the person with water in their basement. And typically they don't really have a high lifetime value because they might only come back to you once. But the people that come back to you all the time and have a high lifetime value are actually your referrers. So like your plumbers, your insurance agents, your property managers. And when we're talking about how much money we should spend to actually acquire them, like I gave you the example of that casino night, whether we should do the casino night or not do the casino night, it's very hard for us to plan that casino night and want to make that execution unless we know what that customer lifetime value is. So remember earlier in the video when I said, hey, $80,000 for the casino night, you're like, oh man, that's absolutely nuts. But then when I told you, hey, that's $3 million worth of work, it became a no-brainer. Now, before we get into the formula on how to calculate this customer lifetime value, I do want to explain this principle of attrition, which is very important. And when it comes to attrition, and we have to know this number to be able to calculate that lifetime value, we have to think of our referral sources as a leaky bucket. And in that bucket, you've got all the active referrers to your business. So those are all the plumbers, the agents, the property managers that have sent you at least one job in the past year. And then leaking out through the bucket are the agents, plumbers, and property managers that have stopped referring for whatever reason. And if you have 100 referral sources and 10 of them stop referring every single year, you would have a 10% attrition rate on your referral sources. And it's very important to know this because once we calculate the customer lifetime value, you'll need to know this variable. So the way you calculate your customer lifetime value, in this case, the referrer lifetime value, is actually pretty simple. You take the number of jobs that are sent to you in a year from a typical referrer, and you multiply that by the average job size. And then you divide that by the attrition rate. So if on average, I get 10 jobs a year from every single plumber, and on average, those jobs are $8,500 a job, that means that I have $85,000 a year worth of work from these plumbers. And if my attrition rate on plumbers is 10%, that basically means that in the lifetime of the plumber, I'll get about $850,000 worth of work from them. Trust me on these numbers. You can Google customer lifetime value if you absolutely don't trust me, but that's how these numbers kind of shake out. So now what I'm telling you is that one plumber to your business is worth $850,000 over the next coming years. So now the question is, well, how can I use this knowledge of customer lifetime value or referrer lifetime value to actually apply it to my business and supercharge my business? And I have 3 ways for you within this video. The first one is front-loaded customer acquisition tactics. So by front-loaded customer acquisition tactics, I mean things like the plumber casino party. If you're actually able to know your customer lifetime value, and it actually is $850,000, and then you know that you're shooting to get 2 new plumbers out of that event to refer you $850,000 each, it would be a no-brainer for you to front load the cost of $80,000 to do that plumber casino night in order to get those 2 plumbers that bring in the $850,000 worth of work. So the second one is actually changing your value-driven referral programs. And I was actually sitting on Restoration Rebels the other day, and somebody posted this company's crazy plumber referral program. And it was a really, really hot post, actually, but it had like 90 comments. And everybody was complaining and like commenting there like crazy stuff like, oh man, these guys are scammers. These guys are X, Y, Z. It was a company out of the Dallas market. What they didn't understand is that restoration company, well, first of all, is world-class. I mean, they had like 300 or 400 Google 5-star reviews, and I know that company personally. They do awesome work. They're actually an Albi client. But what they don't understand was the fact that this company probably understands the fact that the average plumber is bringing in an $8,500 job. So who cares if we promise $1,200 per job? It may seem like a lot, but $1,200 on $8,500 maybe makes sense for us. And then the second thing is, okay, maybe we lose on some jobs, right? On those small jobs, but we're able to get a plumber in that's going to refer us business for the next 4 years. And they really realize that the plumber's lifetime value is $850, $1 million, and so on and so forth. So when you truly understand your customer lifetime value and you look at it from that lens, you're actually able to create these attractive programs that are value driven for your referral sources to refer you work. And it's actually a huge differentiator because the 60 other restoration rebels who completely don't understand this won't ever do it within your market. The third thing, which is super awesome, is you can really create a growth machine once you understand that customer lifetime value. And you can maybe even go out and find a line of credit, let's say $1 million line of credit. And when you know that, hey, every single plumber is going to bring me X amount of lifetime value, and this is how much it costs me to acquire that specific plumber or agent or property manager, you can then have super clarity on creating this growth machine and how you're going to go out and find all these referral sources. Again, we're looking at these referral sources as X amount of value over time versus maybe they'll send a job and maybe they won't. So bottom line is, if you master the concept of customer lifetime value and you understand it fully, you will have an unfair competitive advantage against all your other competitors in this market that have not watched this video. Now, if you want to find out another video on how you can create a competitive advantage within your restoration business, check out this other video that I shot on how to attract plumbers, property managers, and insurance agents to your restoration business. I'll see you there.